All right, so this is the March 19th meeting of the Bristol Energy Committee. Thanks everybody for being here. We can start with citizen comments and concerns. I think anybody have anything? Dan, anybody else?
Where's Jimmy?
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing. This is time to shine.
All I have to add is that I did put in my application for this crew, so
Nice.
I will be grilled under the hot lights of the select board next Monday. So cross your fingers
Excellent.
for me.
Nice. That's
All
great.
you gotta know is why do you want to do this and what are your qualifications? Those are the two questions.
Okay.
And you don't need to have any qualifications too.
You
You can
don't.
just say I'm
I'm a warm
interested in
body.
it.
I'm breathing.
Right. So that's great. Well, awesome, Dan. That's fantastic. All right. Hearing no others.
Jim is on.
Oh, Jim.
Jim's on.
There he is. Jim, do you have any comments or concerns?
Not yet.
Not right now. Thank
No.
you.
Okay. Very good. Thanks, Jim. And I apologize. I am on one monitor tonight, so I'm kind of like flipping back and forth. So I'm trying to, which I know sounds crazy to say, but all right. So that's citizens' comment and concerns. Approve agenda. Does anybody have anything to add or change from the agenda? No. All right. So we're good there. Next item is the February meeting minutes. Approve the February meeting minutes and update on minutes posting on the town website. So does anybody have any comments or concerns about the February meeting minutes? Seeing
Move to
none.
approve.
Oh, Jim, go ahead.
I forgot. I don't know if you guys know, AZ is in the process of setting up some rules and regulations, so to speak, for the charging stations.
Yes, that is on the agenda for later to talk about.
Okay.
Yes,
All
thank
right,
you.
cool.
Good to know, though. Thanks. Okay. So I think I heard Richard move to approve the minutes. I'll second it. Everybody in favor of approving the minutes? Aye, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. All right. Any opposed? No. All right. And we're good. And then the minutes posting on the town website. I didn't look, honestly, if they were posted or not. I can look real quick right now.
I looked a while back and didn't see them there.
Okay.
No, there's
But I
still-
didn't.
Yeah.
I meant to ask where they were, the
Yeah.
town clerk, but I didn't get that far.
That's okay. We can punt that one. Because I send them out to the clerk too. I send the agenda. She's really good about posting the agenda, so I'm sure it's just there's
It's
some
somewhere that
committees
I
and
just didn't
things.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. With all of that stuff out of the way, we can get on to the fun stuff. So Adalia's here first, so maybe we'll let Adalia tell us about SEAC and what's going on with the Energy Navigators program. So Adalia, I don't know if you have any slides or anything. If you just want to, we can keep it informal. We can just chat, whatever you prefer. But I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, I do have some slides, so I'll just share that. Sorry, the meeting's pulled up myself, or the notes rather, but here we go. So this is just something I prepared, just getting a good sense of what the Energy Navigator program is, some of our, I guess, updates since launching almost a year ago, and some more information. How do I do this? There we go. Oh, they might slide in. There we go. So the Energy Navigator program offers one-to-one, end-to-end free energy consultations and guidance for all homeowners and renters in the county. So navigators like myself, Julian is actually trained to be a navigator. And there's several other navigators that are onboarding currently that are going to be having these conversations at your kitchen table, sort of getting a sense of what your home energy plans and hopes are, and how to connect you to the financial resources and the guidance needed to get that stuff done. So we are there throughout this entire process, and we do follow up. We recommend some other upgrades you may not have thought about, and help you kind of reach those goals. So this is just a really like fleshed out version of what I pretty much just said, but sometimes it helps us say it again. So we have that conversation, we discuss your home's heating and cooling needs, any discomfort, your priorities, and more. We need to see basements and attics in order to check out heating and cooling systems and identify places for potential air sealing. And then we review utility bills and income, and that just helps connect you to the financial resources available using our finance guide. And then also make some projections on what you could potentially save by going the more electric route. And then you receive a report with some of the summaries, our findings, your goals, and some further information that you can look into for your benefit. And then again, we'll be there throughout the entire home improvement process. And so the Energy Navigator program was originally created by the Climate Economy Action Center that just hosted their CAB meeting this evening. And this is just a way to sort of, actually get in the homes of Addison County residents and really push them towards climate action. The reason we're doing this is because it's really complicated navigating all of these, sort of buzzwords, the Inflation Reduction Act, what is 80% of average median income, and what's a blower door test. And so we're just there to make sure that you have the information that you need to actually, see results in this process. And so in terms of what we've done so far, we've already had over 50 navigations since launching last April. We've had about 2 to 3 community events per month. Currently, we're partnering with the Vermont Energy Education Program to put on events in libraries and town halls, so people can learn more about, why do we need weatherization work and how to actually get that work done. And we've reached about 50% low to moderate income residents. One of the things we got to do I got to do was hand out brochures at the Veggie Van Gogh event back in November. So that was really great. We've also traveled the county quite a bit. We've been at the Leicester Recycling Center drop-off. We had our first VEEP presentation was in Goshen back in October. And those are some of the model homes that we use, or that VEEP uses to demonstrate how heat loss occurs in your own home. And then we've also done the Middlebury Summer Market tabling. That was a bit before my time. Some distribution at the pharmacy with Acorn, Weybridge house parties. That's a new sort of event we've been putting on, getting together smaller groups of individuals to educate them about our program and how they can sort of plug into our network, and more to come for sure. So like I said, we've been working with VEEP. This was an event we did back in Salisbury in February, and we have another one coming up April 3rd in Orwell, and we'd love to have another few on the calendar in Bristol, perhaps would be great. So we're trying to get the work done. We're partnering with Efficiency Vermont. They have a lot of rebates in residential and commercial projects, and they are a great resource. But even with all the resources they have available, it can be incredibly complicated to navigate their website. And so that's why we're here to kind of hold the hand of residents. Similarly with Heat Squad, which I guess now is called Cornerstone Partners, and CVOEO. They are the ones that do a lot of the coordinating with contractors. And so they've been a great resource for us as well. And similarly, Green Mountain Power has a lot of rebates and programs for EVs, heating, cooling, all that jazz. So we have a great website as well. Just take us there briefly. So our website is a great resource. We have a lot of information about, the actions you can take up here, some of the potential home upgrades that you may have questions about, or maybe some that you haven't thought of. The heat pump water heater, that's a great one that's happening. That has a lot of available rebates currently. And so you can, get a simple description and see what steps to take, write a testimonial, do a deep dive, things like that, or create an account and kind of track your own progress. Or similarly, there are teams, and different teams kind of represent different towns. And so folks have added their actions, and it just keeps a nice log of what people are doing and related to energy work. Let me see if I can get back to the full screen here. There we go. So how you can plug in, hopefully, and what we're sort of asking is to help us potentially coordinate more events like the VEEP series presentation, doing some outreach and connecting us to your residents and helping us by amplifying this message. Tracking local progress. Like I said, there's the ability to create a town team on the website, and sign up for a navigation yourself and tell your family, friends, neighbors all about us. I think that is all that I have. Yeah, just contact information. But yeah.
Great, thank you. There's a lot there, but I think the work that SEAC is doing, or Energy Navigator program is doing, dovetails nicely with kind of what the Energy Committee, at least what we try to do with a lot of the events that we go to. Like sometimes we'll be at the Harvest Festival, and we held an event. I don't know if it was last fall, maybe, with Bristol or with Efficiency Vermont's Matt Sharp. So it definitely sounds like, I mean, to me, that having an event in Bristol would be great. I think people would definitely come out. I mean, I don't know, I'm a visual person, so I like the little model house. That's a cool visual aid. So having stuff like that's always good. Yeah, I think it's a great program. It makes a lot of sense to collaborate, I think. And I think I'll definitely keep in touch. I mean, we'll figure out, I know you had mentioned potentially doing something in a business, maybe like Mini Factory or something, or maybe we could do something at Holly Hall or Howden Hall. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Does anybody have any questions for Delia? Anybody else, I should say?
Yeah, I do. This is basically homes, not businesses that you're dealing with.
Yeah, currently we're only working in the residential sector, and I think there are
Okay.
definitely hopes and dreams to go beyond that. But I know it's a slow moving process. And so as of right now, just homes. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I can't even remember why. A couple of years ago, um, I went to some of the businesses in town, particularly Shaw's, um, the drugstore, and Community Bank, to talk to them to see if they were interested in energy upgrades. And what I learned, particularly at the drugstore and Shaw's, was they just pour heat outside. Those buildings are so inefficient. I got back in the back of both of them, in the storeroom and marshalling area, and the managers admitted they have almost no insulation, and they count on simply pouring huge amounts of BTUs into the building. So it'd be great if uh, programs would develop that would help um, inform them, but also provide financial incentives.
Definitely. I think that's definitely a piece that needs to be integrated into the program and into just the general scope of, energy planning and this sort of climate action. We heard from a great presenter tonight with the Thermal Energy Network, and they were speaking to the municipal plan to sort of create a geothermal ground source way to connect, all that wasted heat and heating homes, affordable housing units specifically. And so, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done there, and I really appreciate that comment.
I've got a question, and that is, what are the best venues? Like, do you like a farmer's market? Do you prefer indoors? Or what are your favorite venues to do this?
Yeah, we've done a variety of different things. I mean, it really depends on the type of event that you think would work best in Bristol. we've tabled at sort of I guess back in September in Shoreham at Apple Fest, and that wasn't a huge success, I don't think, in that venue, because a lot of people were really excited about the food. But I think it's definitely possible to sort of, make it work somewhere else at an outdoor event. But I do think getting people together over food and having a presentation is always helpful, so they really understand what the program is, because I think handing people a brochure helps and they have the contact information, but without like formal education, they aren't necessarily motivated to take action. So
We have done a few weatherization workshops that did go really well indoors, with good presentation set up, and we gave, some special like shop lights for the first 25 people in the door, stuff like that. So we got more people.
Yeah, I think,
I agree, that's a place where people can really all ask questions.
I think a premium at the door for the first 25 or something like that. It's amazing. The shop lights cost $5 at the time. They were LEDs. And there were people lining up to be sure they got their tickets for a $5 shop light. It's magic.
yeah, that's good to know. We also have some resources for, I guess, what is supposed to be dedicated to low and moderate income households. And I think we're trying to put together a raffle. So we could maybe think about something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't really putting that on you to do that. I was thinking,
No,
we could do that.
yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, either way.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to do that.
yeah, we'll do that. You're coming. That's where,
We-
that's the,
We just get them in the door, and then Adelia's want to hook them with the
Yep.
with
yeah,
the material. So
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think a LEAP SEAC workshop really makes a lot of sense. So we had a,
Um,
do you think early fall makes the most sense? Are people looking at it now?
What's your schedule like for these? Do you know that, Adelia?
Yeah, we have a few dates. I can share them with you now. I actually won't. I'm an AmeriCorps member, so my service ends August 8th, but the program will exist long beyond my participation in it. Currently our we have dates kind of scheduled out throughout the spring, but we have some availability in June and July. Let's see, June 18th and 21st, July 16th, 19th, 23rd, and 26th. I can put that in the chat for you guys. And so, yeah, those haven't been taken up yet. Those are just the ones that work currently with Janet from Veep. But I'm sure we could see about other dates, and especially ones later on if that's needed.
yeah, I think the idea is like, when are people thinking about it the most? When can we get the most sort of interest in it? And I think maybe later in as people start thinking about the colder weather, maybe that's maybe the thinking. But I think it could work at any time of year, frankly. So
in some ways it's smarter to do it in the spring because it takes time before it can be implemented.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also people are used to it being cold, and they just finished being with a house that was drafty, and they're kind of aware.
Yeah.
In the summer, you're not even aware of cold, Another question, let's see. Okay, with Veep, do you usually do it together with Veep each time, or?
No, so those dates are just for what Veep has available currently. We just kind of picked a couple dates from February to July. But we can also do a program independently. It wouldn't be as long, and it would just kind of involve, our spiel, but that could also be partnered with something else or dinner, or I don't know, something like that.
Um, yeah, that's great. Veep, we really enjoyed having Veep come here, although we only had a few people come to it. I don't know what the timing was not working or something, but they're phenomenal. But I guess having Veep there lets them have kind of hands-on sense of housing and what's needed and all that. So then they kind of have, it gives more information to them to understand the program.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to go over a date where they're both available. I think that makes sense to me, but yeah, I think we'll just have to think about it a little bit in terms of when we think the best time frame is, and Adelia, I'll talk to you before your service is up. We'll hopefully get it on the calendar before then too. But I think it's a great idea. I think based on the turnout for the event with Matt Sharp, that was just we kind of put that together really quick. Based on that turnout, I think something like this would be well attended. I would hope so.
Well, that'd be great. Thank you all for your time, and yeah,
Yeah, thanks,
forward to
Adelia.
y'all.
Likewise, and thank you for following up with me too. I know we've been pinging back and forth a little bit, but thanks for your patience. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries at all. All right. Well, I'll leave you all to it then. But thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks, Delia.
Yeah,
Good to
thank
meet you.
you.
Take care.
That was great.
That was really good. Okay, so we can think about that in terms of dates and things, and I'll talk to Adelia. I'll email and we'll get something. We can come up with a date, I think, in the summer for sure. All right, we kind of went out of order on the agenda, but I believe, is Julian here? Am I saying it right, Julian?
Julian.
Yes, you are. It's Jolian.
Jolian.
Joel is also totally fine. I've gone by
Okay.
both my whole life. Apologies for being tardy to the meeting as well. I live in Burlington, and so was sort of stuck between the commute back from the Middlebury SEAC event to
Totally.
at any rate, I at some point would love to stop in at one of the. I don't know if Bristol does any in-person Energy Committee meetings, but I would love to visit some of the MERP buildings as well. And so I guess my point is I'm due for a visit to Bristol. We should make that happen, I think.
Definitely. We used to do a hybrid for the Energy Committee, and then it wasn't really working out. We were having issues with the computer the computer thing in Holly Hall, and so, but yeah, maybe we should think about starting to do them in person. But irrespective of that, I think the MERP, Addison County Regional Planning, your involvement with MERP, I think, definitely getting out and seeing the buildings would be helpful for sure.
Very good.
But thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
A pleasure.
And again, I don't know, just like Adelia, I don't know if you had anything specific you wanted to talk about, or just kind of introduce yourself for the broader committee. We can kind of keep it informal.
Sure. Well, I have kind of two big things on my radar beyond who I am. I guess my own personal identity is somewhat on the radar because it's on the agenda. But hi folks, I'm Jolian. I've met some of you, but not all, but I'm looking forward to meeting the rest of you over time as well. And I am really excited to be working to the extent that I can be helpful on y'all's MERP projects. I think, Holly Hall is obviously a very exciting building due to its communal as well as historical relevance. And so really kind of a neat opportunity to be, putting some public dollars and time into ensuring its longevity. So really, really excited about that opportunity. And I have discussed somewhat with Bristol before how I could be helpful for that. However, we haven't dialogued about it extensively, and I would love to learn more about, what sorts of technical assistance that I could provide that would be helpful to y'all in this process. of implementing that grant. So that's one thing that's on my radar in particular, these MERP projects. And another thing that is on my radar is this third round of the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant that is being administered by the Department for Public Services here in Vermont. Now, it is based upon federal money, and so there's always a question mark about, just how much it actually exists. I'm actually more confident about the third round of the EECBG funding, in part because I hear some whispers that this particular block grant might be easing back up. Several other organizations, for example, who've received it have started to get funds from earlier iterations of EECBG round 2. And so I'm optimistic that it could be there. And moreover, I think that whenever there's an opportunity to pursue funds to obtain public ends, it's a good idea to at least try. And so I have been in contact with a network of municipalities, Bristol included, to create a multi-municipality enhanced energy planning process in our county, so that each participant municipality can get either a new from whole cloth, as it is the case with some municipalities, or an updated enhanced energy plan. This third round of EECBG funding is primarily geared, in fact, I would even say almost exclusively geared towards planning. And yet there's a $25,000 threshold to even apply for the grant. And at least from what I would think would be a good idea to do with planning funding for municipalities with regard to energy is to make energy plans. And yet, at least from the RPC's perspective, charging any one municipality $25,000 to develop an enhanced energy plan is robbery, essentially. And so what I wanted to do is say, okay, can we get a group of municipalities together, each one asking for a reasonable amount of money to actually get a new enhanced energy plan, led by a single municipality from that group. And then those folks would contract with the RPC so that we can essentially help draft, host community development exercises so we can get folks' opinions on these plans, and start the process for the approval so that they can get affirmative determinations. So those are kind of the two really big things on my radar. Is this grant opportunity for obtaining a new enhanced energy plan for Bristol, as well as identifying additional ways that I can be of assistance to Bristol in implementing their MERP funding. So those are kind of the two big things for me. I want to, I guess, then take this opportunity to open up the floor for questions or comments from y'all, so that we can be economical about our time as well.
Hey, David, we have a meeting. We have a meeting next Thursday from 10 to 11:30 about MERP. What if we just, if you're available,
10 to
Joanne, we could,
11:30.
you could come early. Maybe David, are you available early? We could meet him early and just kind of look at, kind of walk through the project at Holly Hall.
Yeah, I think so.
And that would be the 25th?
27th?
Sorry, Thursday, not Tuesday. The 27th, and you said before 10:30 though.
So our meeting is at 10. So what do you think, David? How long do you think it would take us just to kind of run through Holly Hall? What do you think?
With Jillian, or
yeah, ahead of time.
Well, maybe an hour.
Yeah. Would you be available at 9?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. 9 o'clock on the 27th. I'm looking at my calendar and it looks good. I will block that off for y'all, and I'm excited. This is so cool. I really enjoy the site visits because it kind of humanizes and personalizes the work in a way that I think is cool. So I like the place of it all. What are we doing is important, obviously, but for what, to for whom, those bigger questions I think are really only answerable when you get your hands dirty. So really excited about that.
So David, I'll email Meredith just to make sure the building will be open. then and I'll send you guys both a note. How does that sound?
Sure. Do you want to invite Ian to that, the meeting with Jillian?
Yeah, I could, what I'll do is I'll make sure with Meredith that the building's gonna be available at 9 o'clock, and then I'll send a meeting notice to both of you. How does that sound?
Okay.
Perfect.
It's all coming together.
It really is. It's really neat. I've gotten to see pictures and I'm a little familiar with this space based off of what you can read from an energy assessment, but you only get so much and it's very technical. So I'm excited. Like I say, see the human side of the building, if you will.
That's great. In terms of the enhanced energy plan grant opportunity, is there anything at this point? Like I know there have been some emails back and forth. Ian had plugged me and a few of the energy committee people in. Is there anything we can do to help move that? Is there anything you need from us? Like we have an existing energy plan, I think, from maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But is there anything else we can do to kind of help get the inertia going?
It was
Let me check.
2019.
Yeah, so we really want to get Bristol a new plan then. That's helpful information as well. I believe that Ian may have already signed the interest letter for us. Yes. So I believe that was the main like technical functional thing. Now, in sort of this conceptualization of the project, obviously I'll want to meet with y'all to discuss next steps once this funding, because I'm like I said, I'm hopeful that we'll secure it. I talked to the public service department people as well as Ann Janda, the senior energy planner from Chittenden County, and they both said that essentially we're on the right track. Like we're trying to use this money in the right way, and so I'd love to meet with y'all to kind of discuss, after that happens. I'd love to meet to discuss your priorities as a committee. I would like to myself, as well as members of the committee, to host community feedback sessions in Bristol proper, or at least nearby, in a space that can host that, so that we can actually have conversations with community members about the plan. Really open up the conversation. Then I will do my best to draft a plan kind of on my own recognizance, and then bring that back to y'all. We'll do revision sessions so that it is kind of the way y'all want it, and then ideally by the end of it have a plan that's ready to come right back to the Regional Planning Commission for approval, to receive that substantial deference. So I think it seems like a fairly straightforward project. I think in the execution it'll get tricky, as any sort of complex endeavor does. But for the most part, I'm trying to design it in such a way so that the effort required of the municipality to produce an enhanced energy plan is as reduced as we can possibly make it. And in part, that's why it's interesting to be pursuing it through this networked approach for multiple municipalities, is we can start taking advantage of opportunities of scale. If I'm working on a group of plans that all generally require the same types of data, that all generally require the same types of maps, then that use similar formats, then there's that opportunity for scale, as well as kind of networking between the municipalities. So how is this municipality exploring this problem? How is this municipality exploring that problem? Because I'll be considering all of that roughly simultaneously. There'll be some, I think, real interesting learning opportunities between municipalities as well. So, and further, even just like as an example to the rest of the state, I think that doing regional energy planning in a sort of distributed way in this manner, I think is really kind of an interesting approach. And so I think that I have a lot to be excited for, I guess, with this. And I don't think that I need anything more from y'all. I will reach out if that becomes the case. There is, always a possibility that some element of the grant will require a bit more information, but I don't think so. We've got pretty much a draft of the application at this point. And essentially the budget, it looks like, will be roughly, and oh, by the way, there's no match. So it's not there's no match from y'all part. So the budget is all from the funding pot. But what we're looking at is essentially roughly about $7,000 per plan. That's 75 hours of work for me, funding support for 2 community outreach events. So like if there's a, fee to rent a space, for example, covering that, as well as some funding for our bookkeeper so that she can handle the invoices, and some funding for our director just so that he can be a kind of an oversight mechanism, if you will. I don't know how many of y'all have met Director Adam Luigi, but in addition to being a seasoned vet of the RPC, he's also a lawyer. So pretty good to have his eyes on these plans. But I'm fairly certain that's what I have for y'all right now. Again, any other potential questions or thoughts?
Jolene, I was just
Please, yeah.
I just wanted to find out what has been the response of our other communities for doing this. Have you got a lot of interest in it?
A fair amount, yes. So let's see. Middlebury is, unless something goes wrong, ideally will be partnering with us. Virgins will be the lead municipality. New Haven is very committed as well. And so including y'all, that brings us up to 4 communities, and that gets us above the $25,000 threshold. And so at this point, I feel fairly confident that we'll have an application submitted with a group of requisite size. So I would say at least, but I believe it's not 4. I believe it's closer to 6 or 7 municipalities. Those are just the ones that pop in off the top of my head as having most recently responded to an email. But I believe it's closer to 6 or 7 municipalities that will be partnering. Let's see. I know I've got a list pulled up here. Ripton and Moncton were also very, very interested. Starksboro is somewhat on the fence, and Ferrisburg, Lincoln, and Shoreham are kind of leaning towards the other side of the fence, but persuadable, I would say. So that brings us up in terms of total potential municipalities to 11. So presumably it's going to be less than 11, but ideally not fewer than 4. So
That's great.
yeah, I think so. I think it could be pretty neat. And like I said, those tangencies of when you're working on a project that involves places that are experiencing similar problems that are nearby one another. I just think it's a really neat opportunity. And like I said, anytime you can try to capture some grant funding, it's never a bad idea, right? So
yeah, I think sometimes I find sometimes we can feel a little like siloed, even though it's like, we shouldn't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like what New Haven's going through, similar things that Bristol's going through, and
exactly.
Ripton, like we're all
Panton,
connected.
and
Exactly.
Leicester, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that getting us to collaborate together in this way, I think is helpful. So.
And I think, and in part, that's like the role of the RPC, right? Is to explore those creative opportunities for collaboration. So yeah, I agree.
All right, does anybody have anything else, or should we let Julian go? Anybody?
Just thanks.
Yeah, thanks for your time,
course.
Julian.
Yeah,
we appreciate
my pleasure. I thoroughly enjoy this type of work. So it's really, actually, I think it's so rejuvenating to be engaged in stuff that like really energizes you, and so I just, this sort of, I could probably talk to y'all for another hour about this type of stuff without really feeling too perturbed. But
you're always welcome at our meetings. You're always
right.
welcome if you want. I'll keep you on the distribution. So
please,
but thanks for your time.
And I won't be able to make it to everyone, but I would like to come more frequently than not, especially while we have our Merck projects running. I think it'd be really nice. I'm not trying to micromanage anything. It's y'all's grant, of course, but I also want to assist in ways that I can, and whether that's help with the development of an RFP or RFQ, or at any rate, y'all know better than I will what y'all will need. But just let me know. My email is on the website, but it's a very simple jlarson@acrpc.org. So feel free to reach out. I'm happy to dialogue about these sorts of things. And phone is also fine, but I'm a little bit better with email. So great.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Julian. Great
Yeah,
to meet
real
you. Take
pleasure.
care.
Great to meet y'all.
Thank you.
Man, so much energy in what's going on. This is exciting. I don't know about you guys, but I feel great. We got a new member coming on. We got all kinds of stuff happening. This is great. All right, so that will take us through item 6. So now on to some of our more typical items here on the agenda. Update on the EV chargers. So what I know is that nothing materially has changed as far as I'm aware. I think Jim mentioned at the top of this call, and this is something that's been on my radar. I wanted to follow up with AZ about this, but the zoning regulation, I guess, that the town needs for an energy or for charging infrastructure, I don't think that's happened yet, but I know it's in the works. So I haven't seen it on the select board agenda yet, but I would guess it's coming. Jim, is that your understanding? Is that it's being worked on? I don't know if Jim can.
Tim's.
Yes,
Yeah.
she went before the planning commission last night to get their feedback on it, to make sure everything's
Okay.
good on both ends before it
Okay.
goes to select board. So
Okay. All right. So it's in the
got a good
works.
plan going, looked pretty good.
Nice. Okay. I don't really know much. I haven't heard anything about the funding or anything like that for the charger. I haven't seen anything from Norwich EV either, but I can follow up with them just because I know we kind of heard nothing, and then we heard we got it, and now we've kind of heard nothing since then. So I don't know if anybody has heard anything else, but that's my update at this point. Just take a few notes here. Okay. Okay, item 8 on the agenda, the update on MERP. So it sounds like Allison and David might have a meeting next week, but I'll just say what I think, as far as I know, 3 of the 4 contractors that Ian had reached out to about potentially partnering with had declined. So I don't know if he had started reaching out to more contractors or not. Allison, I don't know if you know anything else.
Yeah, I think that the Efficiency Vermont has a list of contractors, and I think that he was looking into some of those, and there was a couple of other people. And then, like I mentioned, we have a meeting next Thursday with a person from, hold on one second, I will tell you. Construction Works or something like that. So yeah, so we have another meeting next week. So hopefully we'll learn more about, just where we're at. We can provide a better update, but I think we're just at this point struggling to find a contractor. And then I also think Ian has a meeting in the works with Asher Nelson again to see how integrated architecture might be involved. So I don't have a very good update, but I'll get a better update next week, and I'll.
Yeah, it sounds like next week will be that'll be a good opportunity to learn more. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, time keeps ticking, right? I feel like, can't believe it's almost April, It's just crazy. Okay. All right. Item 9 on the agenda. So this is one that I recently heard about. So there's going to be a volunteer fair at Holly Hall on the 16th of April. It had originally, I guess it started off as like a community engagement event, and then it became a volunteer fair with, I think, the rec department, I think the fire department's going to be there, some other community organizations will be there. I talked to Courtney with CORE, and I think that the town is going to have a space or like a table, I guess. And there will be like, the volunteer applications and things. So I'm going to go, as I don't know if I'll be representing the energy committee, but like I'll go. I'm intending to attend, just to kind of help with our recruitment efforts. But now that we have one less spot, I mean that's good. It's good. But so I just wanted to bring that put that on everybody's radar. There is the volunteer fair on the 16th, and the town will have a table there, so could be an opportunity to recruit. And again, we don't necessarily have to get only one more person too. So, but I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. We won't have it's not like we don't need our own table. I think like the town having a table will be sufficient for our purposes. So, just wanted to bring that up.
Do you know what time that is?
I think it's 4:30 to 7 or 4 to 7, 4 to 7, I think.
Ben,
Good
do you
question.
think this would be a time to raise the flag of Energy Navigator?
I think it could be. I mean, I think the idea is to get people to. I think the push of this event is more to get like volunteers for the organizations that are there. I don't know if if we want to try to have SEAC there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if it fits the. I'll talk to Courtney some more about it and see if it makes sense. I'm not sure. I like where your head's at. Like if we have all these people together, like this is a great opportunity to,
Just an information that it exists, some brochures, stuff like that, might be good.
I've got a ton of Energy Navigator brochures if you want them, Ben.
Good.
Yeah, let me talk to Courtney. And
Let me know if you want them.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I will let you know.
Hey, before we get off today, I think it'd be worth us talking about the dates that we talked about for in June or July to have the SEAC, whatever, the Navigator, whatever we talked about first, our first item.
Yeah, Energy
Yeah.
Navigators
Yeah.
workshop is what we'll
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah, should we do that? If we could kind of think about that a little more and see what we could do, just so we can move it along and not have it, like, I wouldn't want to miss one of these days that are here that she told us about if
Yeah.
we let it go until next month or something,
Right.
It was June 18th and 21st
Yep.
and July 16, 19, 23, and 26.
Well, June 18th happens to be a Bristol Energy Committee meeting. What do we think about co-opting that? Does that make sense? Should we not do that? I don't know. I mean, I know we have other things that we do, but I guess my point is we all have that time
Yeah.
on our schedule. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. It
I
seems
think
like,
that makes sense.
yeah, we could always have a little powwow after the event to just make sure we're covering whatever we needed to. Although it needs to be, if we have a meeting, it has to be
Correct.
public.
Yeah. It had to be like formal and public. So, but if we wanted to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be part of our meeting. We could have this, the thing, and then more talk, and people can join in or not as we talk at the end about, we have our meeting.
I think we definitely ought to plan it with SEAC and VEEP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally.
Yeah.
But she gave us dates, and we should ask about, like, which, do you think we should ask about that date you said? What, is it the 18th?
It's the 18th. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking at my calendar. It's the third. It's the third Wednesday in June. So
Yeah.
we could start there. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll reach out to Delia and I'll say, well, turns out
Yeah.
the 18th is our meeting anyway. So yeah. I think
Yeah,
that
and
makes sense.
it's good to stay away from weekends that
Yeah.
time of year because there are graduations and
Oh, yeah.
proms and all that stuff.
Yeah.
June, once you really get into June, things go crazy. Everyone is so busy. They don't want to
Yeah.
do anything except whatever, outside and finish school and party, whatever. It seems like we should get it as soon as we can
Yeah, I
before
agree.
we all cut loose.
And then in terms of a location, um,
I think Holly Hall.
Holly Hall.
Yeah, but we gotta take into account, is the band gonna, will the band concerts have started yet?
Good point.
And if it rains, then they always use Holly Hall as a rain
That's right.
location.
Also, if the band is playing and the food trucks and all that stuff,
Yeah, you're not gonna get many people.
yeah, maybe. What time does the band end?
Dark usually.
Yeah. Just wondering if they were a draw.
Huh.
So Howden Hall then would be the choice. A better choice. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
a conflict.
Yeah.
So what date is that?
The 18th of June.
June 18th. So
Okay.
I'll reach out to Adelia and I'll say, hey, we talked about it, and I think the 18th of June is a good date. And then I've never really like organized or like I don't even know, like, would I reach out to
Yeah.
Meredith about the
Yeah.
building, or
I could
I
help
can-
out. I could help out with that.
Okay,
Okay.
either Sally or I can do it.
Yeah.
okay.
We both have accounts, I assume.
Have what? Accounts?
Yeah, to register for the buildings.
I
You have
don't
to
know if I really
You
have
have to
that.
have an account with the rec department unless you go
Oh, yeah.
through the back door somehow.
Maybe it's better you do it because I probably don't have that.
Okay, I'll see if it's available.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll get Adelia. I'll make sure that the SEAC and V part of it is like, I'll tell them, hey, it's the 18th, tentatively this building, and then if we have to move the location, I mean, we have a little bit of time to figure that out, I think.
We're focusing on Howden,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
they're clear of the band.
Yeah. Okay. Because the other date, the 21st, is that Saturday, which, like, I don't know about that. And then the rest of we're in July, right?
Yeah. That
Well, the 16th of July is also an energy committee meeting. So if for whatever reason the 18th of June doesn't work, there is the 16th of July. But I think June's probably, we could start there.
It's good to know that that's another possibility.
Let's nail it down.
Okay. Thinking same time.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Yeah, it's going to be light out.
Well, I'll see how long Adelia thinks it will take. Because if it's like, oh, it'll be an hour and a half, maybe 6:30 we could start. Or if it's, hey, we think it's about an hour's worth of stuff, 7's probably okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a sense of how long it will be, like, with the two groups being there. So
Yeah.
I'll ask. I'll say, hey, what do you think in terms of time frame, start time, just based on their experience with having these types of events.
I think with both of them, Veep was about an hour itself.
Okay.
So I would think an hour and a half at least.
Okay.
Particularly if people want to ask questions and stuff.
Right.
And I wonder if Veep is going to do its whole routine, or it's going to do just more of a thing that goes with what she's going to be presenting. I don't
Yeah,
know
we'll
if
have to
we
find
don't know
out.
what the program really is when
Yeah.
they do it together.
I can ask for a sample, like, outline or something too. I'm sure they have like something that structures what they're going to present. So I can see what I can find on that too.
Okay, great.
Okay. I guess that kind of falls under other business. Does anybody have any other business? Hearing none.
I was gonna just ask, Dan, do you have anything you'd like to have happen here in this team? Committee, what would you like to see happen?
Well, thanks for asking. I don't know, I think mostly just want to make sure that I'm caught up with some of the lingo. I think I'm getting where things are going with MERP and EV chargers at least, and getting a sense of what the the team is leaning toward in the future. Right now, I think I feel pretty good riding your wave, and as things progress, I'm going to be more involved. But you know, right now, I like your momentum and excited to see where we can go with it. Thanks for asking.
Great.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Dan. I'm psyched.
We have one other EV grant award for level 2s. And I think I'll check with Ian to see where that is, because you know, if we have it and they had reserved some money, some ARPA money to help facilitate that, it would be a shame to let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, level 2s are also useful, particularly for residents. Apartment, you know, if we could put them, one of the spots was up at the northwest end of the green. That might be useful to renters in the area.
Yeah. That whole line gets pretty full. Just from having my work right near there, I see the cars are pretty well packed on that inside.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Well,
there are empty spots are out by the road.
Somewhere, yeah, somewhere off the park.
Yeah.
I don't remember why Ian was kind of focusing on that location when we walked around, but I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, this was a very healthy meeting.
Yeah.
Like an hour. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right. Well, I think unless anybody has anything else, I think we can adjourn. And I'll try to be at the select board meeting next Monday to see the full official confirmation.
You're so optimistic.
Oh, I'm optimistic. Yeah.
They're totally gonna say yes.
Yeah, we ought to get together, plan the initiation.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
That's right. That's right.
Just kidding. We didn't.
Now I'm worried.
No,
no.
We've
The energy
never had
committee,
to-
there's some
No one's had to go through any
electronic
of that.
stuff being zapped
No.
onto me or something.
No, that's
No.
to do with that's to do with the New Haven River.
That's right. That's right in my backyard.
Okay. Just a little cold these days.
Yeah, that's true.
I should have
And it's
waited till
high.
July.
It's high right now too.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
deep
I
back
saw
there.
that. It
Yeah. But, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. I will type up the meeting minutes and get them out. And I'll talk to Adalia about the 18th, and then our next scheduled meeting is April 16th. So we'll see everybody then, if not sooner.
Okay.
Thanks
All right.
so much, Ben.
Thanks, everybody.
Have
Have a great night.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.